So, for those of you who have not met before, I'm Rebecca. Thanks for coming. Hopefully I see you again. We're gonna focus on doing a bit of forward folding and twisting. Bending and twisting. So we're gonna start on our backs. Just have your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground and take a few breaths. So just allow your spine to settle downward. And allow yourself to arrive into the practice space. And even though the space may still be your home space where you do all the other things in life, now, for the next 60 minutes, let it turn into your studio. Let your body become your yoga studio. So with that, allow that freshness and that breath. Allow the imagery of that beautiful studio atmosphere to come into your mind. And let yourself just engage with yourself, pay attention to yourself and your breath. And settle softly into your body. And then start to hug your right knee in toward your chest and just let your hands clasp around the knee and let the weight of your hands help the knee bend a little deeper. And as your knee bends and as your hip flexes, see if you can feel a heaviness in your hip, in your right hip, come down toward the mat more. A lot of times when we hug our knee in, that part of your low back will lift, and we want to try to resist that. We want to try to help you keep that natural curve in your spine, but also still get that flexion in your hip and your knee. And then slowly start to straighten out your left leg. And reach it nice and long and straight. And then take your left hand to twist your right leg across your body. And maybe reach your right arm out to the right. And as you twist, take a deep breath in as if you're stretching out the space between each vertebrae, the space between each rib. And as you exhale, maybe you can feel that softness come into your body and your twist might deepen. Take 2 more breaths like that. And then slowly come back onto your back. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then grab your strap or take your fingers around your big toe. And place the strap around your toe mound or grab your toes with your fingers. And just straighten your leg up into the air. And then just reach up the strap just so you can let the weight of your hands be the tightness against the strap rather than any sort of pulling motion. And it doesn't matter if your leg is straight, it doesn't matter if it's straight above your hip, just let that leg be in the air enough that you can feel the stretch in the back of your right leg. And then try to make an even spread between your big toe mound and your pinky toe mound. And then push your heel up away from those 2 toe mounds. Start to gently bend your right knee in toward your chest and then remove the strap. And just place the strap down wherever, or your belt, whatever you're using. And then hug your left knee into your chest. Maybe your right knee needs to bend for this to start. And then with your left knee hugging into your chest, try to keep your left hip down enough that you can feel the natural curve of your spine. And then start to straighten your right leg. And then with your right hand, twist your left leg across your body. Reach your left arm out to the left, and then take a deep breath in, create that space between your ribs, and then exhale to soften into your twist a little bit more. And take 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, space. Exhale, depth. And roll back onto your back. Bring your left knee to your chest. Maybe your right knee needs to bend again. Then take a strap or take your foot in your hands and stretch your left leg up to the air. Have the strap around the ball of your foot. And then let your left leg be as straight as it can be, with your heel reaching up away from your pinky toe and big toe. Then start to bend your left knee. Remove the strap and place your left foot on the ground. Bend your right knee and place your right foot on the ground. And then reach your arms overhead, and if your thumbs can come to the ground, great. If your thumbs can't come to the ground, if your shoulders are quite tight, then widen your hands a little bit more. And we're going to bend the elbows and try to grab opposite elbows, but have your left forearm in front, or rather on top of your right. So your right wrist, right forearm might be touching the ground. And if your shoulders are very tight, then just grab opposite wrists if you can. And if that's still not possible, then just make a cactus with your arms. And then from here, bring your heels a little bit closer to your bum. Push the backs of your ribs into the mat and push your forearms against the mat. And slowly start to peel your spine up. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale to slowly replace your spine back down to the ground. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to peel your spine up. Exhale, bring your spine back down. Inhale, peel your spine. Start from your tailbone and lift all the way up. Keep your knees reaching toward each other. And then lower your spine back down. Keep your left foot on the ground. Then bring your right knee toward your chest and then dorsiflex your right foot. So have your toes reach toward your knee. And then with your left hand, grab your ankle and place your left ankle over your right knee, just where the thigh and the knee sort of meet. But keep that dorsiflexion in your foot, in your ankle rather. And then as you're here, either stay there if that feels like that's enough. If your hips feel twisted, like in this case right now, my right hip is actually wanting to reach away more than my left. Try to keep an even reach of your hips towards the bottom end of your mat. And then maybe if you have a bit more space in your body, bring your left knee toward your chest to grab the back of your left thigh. But then press your right ankle into your left knee. Just a little bit. Say like 10% effort. Slowly release your hands, place your left foot back down, and then keep your ankle at your knee, keep your right knee pointing up, and start to lower your legs to the left. I like to hold on to my ankle with my left hand. Keep your knee pointing to the ceiling so that your right foot becomes flat on the ground and your right knee points to the ceiling. Now my right hip is super tight, so this is quite uncomfortable for me. So my knee, if I point it toward my chest a bit more, it takes away a little bit of that pain. You might need to do the same. And then reach your right arm out to the right, and then overhead, like you're raising your hand along the floor. And take a deep breath in, and stretch your right wrist and right hip away from each other. And then as you exhale, bring some softness back into that space. And take one more breath like that. Inhale, reach your hip and wrist away from each other. Exhale, softness. Come back up with your knees, with your feet. Uncross your right leg from your left. Maybe make some circles with that right knee. And then place your right foot back down. Bring your left knee toward your chest now. Dorsiflex your left ankle and then place your left ankle over your right knee. And that might be enough. Or bring your right knee toward your chest and grab the back of your right thigh. And try to keep your hips evenly reaching toward the bottom end of your mat. And as you do that, then push your left ankle into your right knee, about 10% effort. And that will just increase the intensity in that left leg a little bit. And try to keep that natural curve in your spine as we've been doing with the other poses. Slowly release your right foot back to the ground. Keep your left ankle where it is. And then grab your left ankle with your right hand and lower your legs. So you're sort of as if there's a hinge on the pinky side of your right foot. Lower your legs to the right so that your left foot flattens on the ground. And then sweep your left arm overhead. Keep your knuckles on the ground as best as you can. And inhale to reach distance between hip and wrist. Exhale to soften that space. Inhale, reach distance. Exhale to soften. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Bring your knees back up through center. Uncross your knee from your ankle from your knee and make a few circles with your left knee. Circle the other way. And place your feet back down to the ground. And then reach your arms back overhead one more time. And this time have your left forearm on the ground, right forearm up. Bring your arms overhead. Place your feet on the ground and then slowly start to peel your spine back up as you inhale. And lower back down as you exhale. Inhale to peel back up. Try to keep all four corners of your feet grounded. Exhale back down. And one more time, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Release your hands down. Roll to one side and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Maybe sit on a blanket or a cushion or just sit on the ground if you feel like you can. And then have your knees bent. So have your heels into the ground and your knees bent a bit more than you would think to do. But keep that dorsiflexion in your feet. Sit up nice and tall. And then take an inhale to reach your arms up. And exhale, fold. So grab your left elbow with your right hand and cross your arms overhead. And then take a deep breath in to lift up and get a little bit of a back bend. So lift up from your heart. Reach back from your upper back. Reach back from the back of your head. And then as you exhale, start to fold forward and roll from your pubic bone down. And then as you get to that place, so this might feel like a nice deep stretch in your back. Take one more breath in, lift from your breastplate, and then as you exhale, fold all the way. You'll start to round and round and round, and then let your head be heavy. At your knees, let your forearms rest on your shins. And keep your forearms engaged, head between your knees, and then maybe start to walk your bum back a little bit. And you don't need to walk your bum back at all. It's just about if you feel like your body is slowly starting to open as you're in this fold, you might find a bit more space. And then walk your bum back one more time if you can. And now grab onto your left ankle with your right hand. So we're releasing the hands from the elbows, and with your right hand, grab your left ankle or even the pinky side of your right foot. And start to reach your left hand forward. And reach it out to the left. And then inhale. So you're twisting to your left. And inhale your left hand back behind you, up. And then as you exhale, fold forward again and grab your right ankle with your left hand. And then release, or the pinky side of your right foot. And then release your right hand through. Inhale to reach back. So you're twisting to your right, up. And then as you exhale, fold and grab your left foot or left ankle. Swap sides. We're going to do that a few times now. So inhale, twist to your left, reach your left arm out and up. Exhale, fold, grab your right side. Inhale, release your right hand, twist to the right and up. Exhale, fold, grab the left foot with your right hand. And then inhale your left hand, twist to the left. Exhale to fold. Inhale, release your right hand, twist to the right. Exhale, fold. One more time to the left, inhale. And fold, and last time to the right. Inhale, release, twist right, and fold. And then roll yourselves up to sitting rather, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale your hands back behind you. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee, so like we did on our backs, but this time we're sat up. And now, the difference now is that with your bum on the ground, gravity is helping it reach evenly downward. And you can choose, if you bring your foot, your left foot close to your bum, it increases the intensity. So you get to direct how intense this pose is. But try to keep that dorsiflexion in your right ankle. And then push your right ankle against your left knee about 10%. And then take an inhale to lift up your heart. And hold that lift as you exhale. Take another breath in, lift up from your heart. And then lower your legs to the right as you exhale. And hold here for 2 breaths. Try to keep your elbows pointing back behind you so your chest is broad, your collarbones are wide. 1 more breath. And bring your knees back up through center. Release your ankle from your knee. Place both feet back down on the ground. And lift yourself back up to seated. Roll back. So pull your shoulders onto your back and lean back a little bit until you're on the bottom of your tailbone. And then come onto the big toes or lift your shins up. So we're going to come into a boat pose. You can grab the backs of your knees if you need to. Or you can reach your arms forward. And if you can, straighten your legs as best as you can. And hold for 2 breaths. And 1 more breath. Whoop. Falling over. Place your feet back down. Walk your heels away from you. Dorsiflex your feet. And then reach your arms up. And this time grab your right elbow with your left hand. And then place your right forearm behind you. And take a deep breath in to lift up from your heart. And as you exhale, get a gentle back bend. So lift your heart up. Press the back of your head to the back of your upper back ever so slightly. And as you lift up with your heart, gentle back bend. Exhale to start to fold forward. Lead from your heart. Keep breathing length and lift from your heart. And exhale, fold. 1 more inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale to fold and maybe start to round down. Round down to bring your shins, your forearms to your shins. Let your head be heavy. And then start to walk your bum back. Woo, falling over. Try to keep your belly on your thighs. Try to keep your shins, your forearms on your shins. And then maybe walk back a little more. And then one more time. Walk your bum back. And with your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot. And then inhale your right arm out to the right. And maybe this time start to straighten your right leg as you twist right. Reach up. And then exhale, fold. And then rebend your right knee as you fold. Grab your left side with your right hand. And then inhale, release your left hand as you twist left and maybe straighten your left leg as much as you can. Reach up. And then exhale to fold and grab your right foot. Rebend your left knee. And we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, twist to the right, straighten your right side. Exhale, fold and bend. Inhale, twist left, straighten your left side. Exhale, fold and bend. One more each side. Inhale, twist right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, twist left. Exhale, fold. And roll yourself up to seated. Reach your arms up. Exhale your hands back behind you. Fingertips face forward. And then open up your collarbones. Bend your elbows a little bit back behind you and place your feet flat on the ground. Bring your left ankle up to your right knee. You can use your hands to help you or lift your bum to help you if you need to. And then you get to choose how close your bum is to your heel. Keep that dorsiflexion in your lifted foot and then push your left ankle against your right knee ever so slightly. Take a deep breath in and lift your heart up, and as you exhale, hold here with that gentle back bend, with that gentle pressure of ankle against knee. And take another breath in. And then lower your legs to the left as you exhale. So your ankle becomes a weight on your right knee. One more breath here. Bring your knees back up. Uncross your ankle from your knee. Walk yourself forward. Reach your hands forward or place your hands behind your knees. Pull your shoulders onto your back. Lean back ever so slightly. Let your big toes start to lift. Let your shins start to lift. Maybe reach your arms forward. Keep your collarbones long. Maybe straighten your legs. And hold for 2 more breaths. One more breath. And place your feet back down. Cross your ankles and sweep your legs around you to come into hands and knees now, please. From hands and knees, take 2 or 3 breaths of cat-cow. Inhale to lower your belly. Exhale to round your spine. Inhale, lower your belly. Exhale, round your spine. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then tuck your toes under, press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Whew. Pedal out your dog. Have your feet hip distance apart, please. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And reach your chest towards your thighs. Put a little bend in your knees, a little bit more than you normally would. And then reach the tops of your thigh bones higher. Reach your sits bones higher. And then as you have that little bend in your knees, as your chest reaches deeply towards your thighs, lean into your right hand a bit more and tent your left fingertips. Tent your left hand so you're just on the fingertips of your left hand. And then maybe release your left hand to grab toward your right ankle and pull yourself through to the right. But try to keep your hips level. And then release your left hand back to your dog. Inhale forward to a plank. Place your knees down. Lower through chaturanga to your belly. Untuck your toes and inhale, cobra. Exhale through hands and knees and back to your downward facing dog. Spread your toes, spread your fingers, bend your knees a little, reach your chest towards your thighs. So you're really sticking out your booty. And then put a bit more weight in your left hand and tent your right fingertips. And you can stop at the tenting if that feels like you fall over if you go any further. Or release your right hand to grab your left ankle and pull your chest through while still keeping your hips level. And then release your right hand to your left, to your floor rather. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale cobra or upward facing dog. Good, and then exhale downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to your right thumb and place your left knee down. Reach your arms forward and up. And then as you exhale, cactus your arms. Reach your forearms back. So from wrist to elbow, reach back. And then reach your legs toward each other. So squeeze your legs toward each other a little bit until you feel a little bit more length in the front of your left thigh. So activate your feet downward and together. So your inner thighs reach in. And then lift from your heart, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lean back a little bit more. And take another breath in. And exhale, lean back a little more. And now reach your arms up, up, up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward and round over your front knee. Hands to the ground. Let your head dangle there. Place your left hand a little bit more to the left and a little bit more forward than it was. So it's not directly under your shoulder. And then start to reach forward with your right hand. Reach forward, maybe even your pelvis comes forward ever so slightly. Like you're trying to pull your arm out of the arm socket, out of the shoulder socket. And then inhale, lift up. Pull your low belly in, so find a little bit of tone in your low belly. And as you exhale, sweep it back down and round over that front knee. And do that 2 more times. So inhale forward, reach from the back of your arm, up, and exhale down, round. 1 more, inhale forward, and up, and exhale down and round. And place your hand down, tent your fingertips, lift your heart up. And then as you exhale, pull your right hip back, lead from the back of your right butt cheek. Let your right toes come up so your heel stays on the ground. And you may want to walk your right foot forward a little bit so that way your hips can stay above your left knee. But then push back from the back of your right hip. So your right sit bones are reaching back. Your left hip is going to follow. And then try to have an even balance between pinky toe mound and big toe mound. Lifting up and spreading. And then take an inhale, lift your heart up. And as you exhale, fold forward. And then reach the pinky side of your right foot with your left hand. And fold there. So it's not a big twist, it's a little twist. It's almost more like a bit of a side flexion. And then if you have a bit more space, then you can release your hand to the ground, to the right of your right foot, and walk your hands a bit to the right. Walk your hands back to the left, frame your front foot, come forward, plant your right foot back down, step back to hands and knees, tuck your toes under, and come into a downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a plank. Exhale to chaturanga, knees first if you need to. Inhale cobra or upward facing dog. Widen your collarbones. And then exhale into a downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward to your left thumb. Place your right knee down. Take a deep breath in and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, cactus your arms once again. all of your forearms. Draw your legs toward each other. Lift up from your breastplate. Lean back from the back of your head. Inhale to lift and exhale, arch back. Inhale to lift and exhale to arch back. Inhale, reach your arms up, 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 up. Exhale, round over your front foot. Let your head be heavy. Walk your right hand forward and to the right a little bit. And then start to walk your left hand forward, lean into it, reach into it. And as if from your shoulder blade, you can reach your left hand forward more. Reach up, inhale up and back to the left, twisting to the left. Exhale down. And sweep your hand across the ground. So inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. One more. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. Tend to your fingertips. Lift your heart up. And as you exhale, pull your left hip back. Lead from your left sit bone. And then bring your left toes up. So you might need to walk your left foot forward a little bit and bring your left toes up. And then square your hips. I don't like the word squaring. Line up your hips, level your hips rather, with the front edge of your mat as best as you can. So you're trying not to have your right hip back more than your left or vice versa. Lift up from your heart, fold a little bit more. Doesn't matter how straight your left leg is. And then take your right hand and grab the pinky side of your left foot. So you have a little bit of that side flexion, a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a forward fold. And if your body has a bit more space, walk your hands over to the left even more. And keep pulling your hips back away from your right armpit. Walk your hands back to center, frame your front foot. Come forward into your front foot, step back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Untuck your toes, inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of your mat to a standing forward fold. Roll yourself up to standing. Pull your shoulders onto your back. And then turn to take a wide stance on your mat. And from the wide stance on your mat, place your hands onto your hips. Lift up from your heart and fold forward. Bring your hands down to the ground or onto a book or blocks if you have them. If you need to put a bend in your knees, go ahead and do that. And now start to walk your hands over to the right. And then grab your right foot with your left hand. And inhale, reach your right hand up. As you exhale, reach across. Release your foot with your hand if you need to grab your left foot with your right hand. And then inhale, reach your left hand up and twist. Exhale to go to the other side, grab your right foot with your left hand. Reach your right hand up as you inhale and twist to the right. Exhale, release to come through center and grab your left foot with your right hand. And then inhale, reach your left hand up, twist to the left. Exhale, come through center, grab your right ankle with your left hand. Inhale, twist right. Exhale through center. Grab your left ankle. Inhale, twist left. Exhale through center and come back to center. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Grab your ankles or your big toes with your peace fingers, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And then start to bend your elbows out to the sides, whichever one you're grabbing. And then take an inhale to lengthen your heart and stick your butt out a little bit. You might need a bend in your knees to do this. Exhale, fold a little more. Start to bend your right knee and shift your hips a little bit to the right. Straighten your left leg, straighten your left arm. Inhale through center, straighten both legs as much as you can. Exhale, bend into the left side, shift your weight to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. Come back through center. Bring your hands back to center. Lift up halfway. Place your hands on your hips. Pull your shoulders onto your back. And then lead from the back of your head all the way up to standing. Good. Start to walk your feet together and come to the front of your mat now. Inhale into a chair pose. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Step your right leg back. Turn your right heel down to 45-degree angles. Keep your left knee bent and take an inhale up to warrior one. And then exhale here. Settle your pelvis down. Take 2 breaths here. Bend your right elbow, use your left hand to grab your right elbow. And then stack your forearms. Lift your elbows up, lift your forearms up, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lean back and try to keep your shoulders stacked in the same line as your hips, even though you're leaning back a little bit. So they're all pointing in the same direction. Take one more breath in, lift up from your heart, and exhale, bend into your left knee a little more. Nice deep warrior one. Reach your arms all the way up. And then exhale your hands to your low back and interlace your fingers, that way your left thumb is touching your low back. Reach your knuckles back, reach your heart up, and then release your thumbs down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come into a humble warrior and round your back over your left knee with your knuckles reaching up. Release your hands down to the ground around your front foot. And then with your hands tented, start to pull your left. So imagine you can drag your left foot back. Keep dragging your left foot back until your left leg becomes as straight as it can be. Keep your right hand on the ground. Take an inhale and reach your left hand up and twist to the left. Exhale to sweep your right hand around to the ground. Keep that twist in your torso and inhale, reach your left hand back up. Exhale down. So you're making big circles with your left arm. Inhale out and up. Exhale forward and down. One more inhale. And exhale the hand back down. Pivot your back heel up. Bend into your front knee. And step forward into a standing forward fold. Bend your knees in your forward fold. Reach your hands back. Grab your ankles with your hands. And try to press your knees and knee pits and elbow pits against each other in your forward fold. Keep pressing your knee pits and elbow pits against each other until your legs can straighten as much as your legs will let you straighten, with your chest still on your thighs. Start to re-bend your knees, release your hands, roll yourselves up to standing. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale your hands to your mountain pose. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And step your left leg back. Turn your left heel down at 45-degree angle. Keep your right knee bent. Reach your arms up, warrior one. And as you exhale, reach your left hip forward and push your right hip back. So your inner thighs reach toward each other. And bend your left elbow. Grab your left elbow with your right hand. Maybe grab your elbows together so your forearms are stacked. Or just keep your left hand down, whichever feels better for you. And then lift your elbows up. Lift your heart up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lean back with the back of your head. Push your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen your heart up. Exhale, push your pelvis forward. Try to reach the top of your left thigh bone more forward. As if you can point the top of your left thigh bone more horizontal and forward. Inhale to lift up from your heart. And exhale one more time. Release your hands all the way up, out and down. Keep that back bend, and then interlace your fingers so that way your right thumb is touching your low back. With your elbows bent, reach your elbows back, and then keep that reaching back of your elbows. Start to straighten your knuckles, straighten your hands rather, straighten your arms. Those are arms, the whole thing is an arm. Lift up your heart, and then exhale to fold forward into a humble warrior. And let your back round over your front knee as much as it can, so your head can sort of dangle. One more breath here. Release your hands down to the ground, tented fingertips. Lift up your heart halfway, and then as if you could drag your right foot back, pull your right foot back until your right leg straightens as much as it can. Keep that engagement in the right leg, and as if you're trying to squeeze your legs together. Keep your left hand on the ground, and inhale your right arm to the sky, twist to your right. Have a bit of toning in your low belly so your twist is nice and strong. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, reach your right arm forward and down. Inhale, reach your right arm back and up. Exhale your right arm forward and down. One more inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Place your hands around your front foot. Bend into your front knee and pivot your back heel up. Step your back foot forward into a bent knee forward fold. And once again, grab your ankles with your wrist, with your hands, so that way your elbow pits and knee pits are trying to press against each other. So you might need to bend your knees a lot to do that. You really want your forearms pressing against your calves, and then try to push your knee pits and elbow pits against each other until your legs can straighten as much as they can. Maybe just shake out your head so your head can just sort of let go here, and you can really focus on that fold. And then release your hands down to the ground. Place your palms on the ground and start to walk your feet back to a downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a plank pose. Exhale through chaturanga. Come all the way to your bellies. And then come into cactus arms with your forehead on the ground. And then lift your forearms up from elbows to wrists. Lift your chest up. Take a deep breath in into cactus cobra. And as you exhale, pull your elbows back and release your hands to your low back with your right thumb touching your low back. And reach your knuckles up and back. Lift your legs up. Locust pose. Squeeze your inner thighs toward each other. Reach your shoulder blades toward each other and down your back. Breathe into your armpits and keep the back of your neck long. Take one more breath in. And then exhale to release back down. Stack your forearms and rest your forehead on your forearms. Bring your hands by your low ribs. Actually cactus your arms again. Forehead to the ground. And then lift your forearms up. Take an inhale, lift your chest forward and up. As you exhale, start to reach your elbows back, reach your hands back. Interlace your fingers so that way your left thumb is touching your low back. And then reach your elbows to straighten, reach your knuckles to your heels. Lift your chest up a little more. And then zip your inner thighs together, reach your legs up. Spread your toes. Locust pose again. Lengthen your neck. Lengthen the back of your neck. And take one more breath in here. And exhale to come back down and stack your forearms. And relax. Bring your hands back by your low ribs and press yourself up and back into a child's pose. From your child's pose, bring your forehead to the ground and let your hands come back by your ankles. Reach your arms forward, come up to hands and knees. Widen your knees a little bit more than your hips. Have your right hand a little bit in front of your shoulder and thread your left arm underneath your right armpit to bring your left shoulder to the ground, left cheek to the ground, and reach your right arm forward. Maybe even reach your right hand behind your low back toward your left thigh or left butt cheek. And just take 2 breaths here. One more really nice long breath. Bring your right hand back down, palm to the ground. Press yourself back up to hands and knees. Bring your left hand a little bit forward of the shoulder and thread your right arm underneath your left armpit. Bring your right cheek and right shoulder to the ground. Bring your left hand around to grab towards your right thigh. You can leave your left hand on the ground if you want to, whatever feels better for you. Bring your left hand back down to the ground in front of your face. Press yourself back up to hands and knees. Bring your legs out in front of you. Bring your soles of your feet together, knees apart, and have your heels a little bit away from your groin, a little bit more than you normally would. Hold on to your ankles and then take an inhale to lift up from your heart. Roll your pubic bone forward, and as you exhale, keep that lift in your heart. Keep that length in your front body and fold forward until you have to round your back. Roll yourself up to seated. Use your hands and help your knees come back together, soles of your feet to the ground. Lean back into your hands and just wash your knees side to side. Come back to center. Start to straighten your legs out in front of you and roll yourselves down onto your backs. And as you arrive at your back, just take a moment to hug your knees in toward your chest. Place your feet back down. Lift your hips up just enough that you can almost feel like you're sort of straightening out your spine, like you're almost pulling it taut and straight, and then slowly replace it back down with that nice straightness. And then hug your knees into your chest once again. And you can stay like that with your knees, one knee in each hand. Or if you'd like to come into a happy baby, widen your knees a bit more. Reach your hands between your thighs to grab the pinky sides of your feet. And then show the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Press your tailbone into the ground a little bit. Push your feet up into your hands as much as your hands pull down into your feet. Start to bring your heels together. Slide your hands down your shins, or rather up your shins to your knees. Place your feet back down on the ground. Then maybe just let your knees rest against each other with your feet apart for just a few breaths. And then start to straighten your legs to come down into your Shavasana. Take any blanket or socks or cozies that you might want to have with you. Let yourself just find some comfort in a place where you can just be at ease without holding anything unnecessary. Let yourself find some softness, some calm and some quiet in your breath, in your mind, in your body. And let yourself just rest and release into your Shavasana. Allow your breath to begin to deepen and lengthen. Start to feel that depth and that length of each breath reach down to the tips of your toes, the ends of your fingers, until you feel that little buzzing of energy start to create a little bit of vigor, a little bit of excitement and energy that helps bring you back into awareness and back into the rest of the evening. Maybe inviting some small movements to help you physically come back into the space. And take a few deep breaths and start to reach your arms overhead as you breathe deeply in. And exhale out your mouth. Inhale, deeply breathe in, stretch long, and exhale out your mouth. And take one more deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Gently bend your knees one at a time, roll to your right, and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And as you find your seat, if you want to find your seat, you can stay laying down. Just take a moment to bring your hands to your heart. Place your hands in prayer and give yourself a moment of thanks and gratitude for your time, for your attention, for your physical movement and your practice, and for our connection that we can continue to have and share. Thank you all for your time this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.